And now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to the stage Tushar, who is the head of not only BD but also go-to-market for SAP Asia. So Tushar, please take it away. Give him a big round of applause, everybody.
Okay. All right. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Uh, so Formula One weekend in Singapore, very exciting, right? A quick show of hand. How many people are attending Formula One? Okay, yeah, quite a few. So really excited to be here and talk about what SAP is doing to innovate cross-border payments for small and medium enterprises. Just a quick, these are some of the key takeaways from my presentation today. I'll cover challenges and opportunities with cross-border payments, more specifically from an enterprise SME perspective. Most recently, we have been seeing a lot of supply chains shifting to Asia in countries like Vietnam. And there are 40 plus countries within Asia itself. So cross-border payments becomes an absolute important area, and the stablecoin and some of the initiatives that I heard from the panel discussion, they're contributing towards this aspect. I will talk a little bit about SAP's initiative. This is Digital Currency Hub that we are currently piloting. This is an enterprise wallet. We are leveraging stablecoin, and we are also offering a payment integration with ERP system. And last but not the least, we did a pilot with 200 plus corporate customers last year, and I'll share lessons learned from this pilot initiative. So someone asked me outside, what is SAP doing in Stablecoin Summit? And I was like, okay, let me share with you, why we see transforming B2B payments as a massive opportunity. We currently have 20,000 plus ERP customers who are using SAP for financial transactions. And if you add legacy on-prem customers who are now moving to cloud, it's more than 400,000 globally. So this is definitely a massive opportunity for SAP. These are the companies who are processing payments using their SAP system to approve payments, to approve invoices, etc. The payment methods are still quite traditional, and you would be surprised how many customers are still paying their suppliers using traditional ACH payments or check-based payments. And others who are using bank transfers, it is absolutely not efficient at all. We have a B2B collaboration platform called SAP Business Network, where buyers and suppliers are using this platform to exchange purchase orders, invoices, and do a lot of other things. There's in the last 12 months, we processed 780 plus million transactions through this platform, which was equivalent to about $5.3 trillion globally. In the last 2 years, we acquired this company called Taulia. This is a fintech company that offers embedded finance and early payment solutions. I currently lead business development for working capital solutions, which includes fintech offerings such as virtual cards, embedded finance that we are trying to put through, integrate with SAP systems. And this is a new initiative, SAP Digital Currency Hub, which I'll talk a little bit more in detail. So the earlier panels talked about some of the pain points that customers are experiencing in cross-border payments. I just wanted to talk a little bit about these challenges from an SME perspective. So first of all, profit margin is really a challenge for these small enterprises. Many of these operate on wafer-thin margins. And oftentimes, cross-border payments involve high transaction costs. If you add interbank transfer fees, exchange rates, and all the other fees, it amounts to, the percentage is quite high. Um, these SMEs are also struggling with cash flow issues, and payment delays. Is a massive challenge globally still, in spite of all the regulations that governments are trying to impose for on-time payments. These SMEs still don't get paid on time. And and if you add the payment delays due to cross-border transfers, that builds on top of what they're experiencing right now. Regulatory compliance, and the earlier panel also talked about it. This is again a good problem to solve. Specifically from an SME perspective, they do not have the resources to put in to monitor these regulatory compliance, which varies from country to country globally, and oftentimes they end up paying fines when they are not complying with some of these regulations. And of course, there's limited access to banking services globally, especially in emerging markets. So services like trade finance, they are not easily accessible for SMEs. The last point is around operational efficiencies, and this is where I'm going to go a bit deeper. Reconciliation of all these global payments and integration with the backend ERP system also becomes a big challenge. This is a typical cross-border scenario, and this is a real-life use case where a supplier in Asia, they sent a $500 invoice to one of the customers in North America, and they were charged 20 USD, which is 4% of their invoice amount on this. Which is quite huge. It's eating into their profit margin. It takes typically 3 to 7 days for payment execution. And imagine if the supplier has payment term of, let's say, 90 days with a customer, this payment delay will be over and above that. And within this time period, they have no idea whatsoever what's the status of their invoice approval, where's the money during this during this transfer process as well. So this is how digital money disrupts cross-border payments. Obviously, I mean, currently, if you do these transactions with traditional fiat money, there are a lot of intermediaries in between. For a 500 USD invoice, you'll have to pay 20 USD through two different intermediaries in between. And the same scenario through a blockchain-based transaction will reduce the number of intermediaries. It will reduce the transaction cost, and obviously the transactions will be much faster. 50% less effort. It will cost them 75% less, and near real-time transactions that can be facilitated through blockchain-based digital money. But there are still like a couple of challenges why this might not be adopted at scale by SMEs. That includes global availability and access to stablecoin. Obviously, volatility has been a big issue with the traditional cryptocurrencies, which stablecoin is addressing to a certain extent. But the third and the most important challenge from an enterprise perspective is that how do you integrate all these cryptocurrency payments with your ERP system, and how do you account for that? And this is what we are trying to solve through SAP's Digital Currency Hub. Basically, this is an enterprise wallet for stablecoin payment that facilitates, that helps companies pay to their suppliers using digital money like stablecoin and receive payments. There's solid integration with ERP, so it is fully embedded with the payment processes and reconciliation that is required for accounts receivables, for example. There's also we also support compliance so that all these transactions are properly accounted for, and if there are any regulatory reporting requirements for taxation or for any other aspects, it's duly covered in the hub. So what's in it for the customer? So on the left-hand side, you can see it definitely costs less. The transaction fees is much smaller. Payments can be automated in real time. Then it takes care of the volatility issues through stablecoin. And finally, it also addresses bookkeeping requirements. Okay. So with that, there are a couple of scenarios. This is how we are integrating the digital currency hub with backend ERP system. We typically maintain trading partners as business partner in the ERP system. So these business partners can be your supplier or a customer. So a business partner can be registered for digital currency payment in the ERP system. Now, whenever you receive a purchase, when you send a purchase order to a supplier and you receive the supplier invoice, you do a payment run in the ERP system. Now, this outgoing payment instruction can be sent to the digital currency hub, which will execute this payment transaction using stablecoin. And once this payment gets executed, an account statement gets generated, and it will sent back to the ERP system for reconciliation. Similar use case on the receivables side as well, where you can maintain one enterprise wallet for all your customers, or you can have individual wallets based on customers for every customer. And then you can either just wait for the transaction to be settled by the customer, or you can initiate the payment request through the digital currency hub. Now, one thing that I really love is show the solution, not just talk about the slides. And for this, my colleague Bernard could not be here in person, so I just asked him to record this video and share with me. So I just want to run this with you, 3 minutes. It will give you a very good flavor of what we are developing right now.
Let's start with the accounts. The Digital Currency Hub manages stablecoins and crypto assets in forms of accounts. Each combination of a digital currency, a stablecoin, and a network is called an account, and we roll up the information of all corresponding wallets in that account, and we play back the information via an account statement from that account to the ERP system, so you can automatically reconcile your crypto asset holdings, be it stablecoins or cryptocurrencies, against the ERP system. Now, the key benefit of SAP Digital Currency Hub is making and receiving payments. Let's have a very quick look how to initiate a payment using SAP Digital Currency Hub. You simply call the Make Payment functionality, either via clicking the Make Payment button in the UI or calling an API. Select the business partner, in my case Premier Foods, specify the fiat amount you're going to pay. Now the system automatically picks up the value of the corresponding stablecoin as it has been defined in a so-called payment agreement. The system also automatically picks up the pay-to address, the wallet address to which the payment goes, and estimates the network fee. In addition, you can enter a reference number like the invoice number, which is used for off-chain messaging to an ease reconciliation. Once you hit the Create button, the system creates a blockchain transaction, signs it, and forwards it to the blockchain node for validation. If you now hit the Display Business Transactions button, you will see an open business transaction with $5 in PYUSD. That is an outgoing payment to Premier Foods with a given reference. We wait for 6 blocks to consider that transaction being finalized and move it to the completed section. And here you see I have a couple of completed business transactions that have happened in the last couple of days. Now, in order to reconcile back against the ERP system, we display or we can create an account statement, which we can use to upload into the ERP system and close the loop between payment and reconciliation in the ERP system. It's a standard format that every ERP system understands. Today, SAP Digital Currency Hub is not yet integrated into the SAP ERP systems, but can be integrated on a project basis. Thanks for your.
So that was an end-to-end process covering not just paying and receiving stablecoin-based payments, but also reconciling with ERP system. Now, to my final section, just wanted to share some of the lessons learned from our pilot program. So last year, we did a test drive with some of the customers, and we just posted this as a blog, and 200 plus customers registered interest in the test drive. We just used USDC Play Money and a sample invoice and a test network to share the look and feel and capture feedback from the customers. This has moved to a pilot phase in the last quarter of the year. We onboarded 10 SME customers who did real-world transactions using USDC and actual blockchain. And 3 customers were successful in using this. 7 dropped due to accessibility issue, and something that I want to talk about later. Later this year, we are announcing an early adopter program with a large enterprise focus. And there are also some lessons learned in terms of how you can make big impact through an anchor buyer-driven program rather than through an SME-initiated program. And we are targeting about 10 enterprise customers to be onboarded. And there will be an official announcement at the Euromoney event which is happening in October this year. So some interesting findings from the pilot. On the plus side, there's great interest from SMEs in optimizing cross-border payments. As I mentioned, we had 200 plus customers who registered interest in this program within 1 week. We do think that achieving a network effect is possible through this program. Both buyers and sellers can motivate each other if they see value, and then encourage other trading partners to adopt this initiative. And finally, because SAP was involved, security concern was not even a topic that came up, and that gives us more confidence in terms of how SAP can make a big impact in this initiative. On the downside, accessibility and fees were still perceived as big roadblocks in this initiative. Onboarding with a new liquidity provider is still considered a pain. In one of the use cases with the managing directors of the company, all the MDs of the company had to declare personal information for KYC, KYB related matters, and that was a big pain in that onboarding process. In another case, a customer from Costa Rica, they had to pay like high fees to get access to stablecoin. It was not available in the country, so they tried the Visa route, and I believe also tried the Swiss exchange, and it was also they were quoted about $0.5 million for just to get the liquidity provisioning done, which outweighs the cost savings. And so coming back to final point, this network effect will only occur if stable coins are easy to access. And it's really encouraging to see that forums like this are trying to make, are already discussing this, and that will be like one call to action to all the participants here. How do we make this globally accessible and affordable for all customers, big and small? And with that, I will wrap up my session. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Yes, please go ahead. Uh, SAP will, yeah, facilitate, yeah. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tushar. Clearly, SAP is doing a lot of work to integrate stablecoins into ERP systems. I'm starting to see some more and more people trickle in from lunch. I hope you guys had a great, great meal. If you haven't, now might be a great time to go over to the lunch hall to get some beverages as well as eat. There's also sponsor booths that we'd love for you to check out.